Cheers.
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 Cheers. Ding, ding, ding. Cheers. Okay, now
Matt,
I'm sous chef.
I'm going to teach you how to calibrate a thermometer. They don't always come calibrated. You might think they do, and they become uncalibrated. So that's why you thought your roast was at 135 and it turned out to be 120 or vice versa. It's because, it's because you have to calibrate them regularly.
Really?
So if we
It's
have
so
time, we'll
true.
do that later. In the front we have our menu that you've seen, but now it's got the wine pairings on it. After that, if you turn the page, we go to the recipes. Now, all of these recipes, I know I love those girls. All of these recipes will be accompanied with the ingredients. Judy and I have scaled all the ingredients out to make it go faster. So if you look in the very back, that's where our timeline is. And that's what we're going to be following. And we can do this, but we have to stay focused. And to facilitate it, what I thought I would do is I break you into teams, and everybody's going to cook every course together, but there's going to be like team leaders that are going to be responsible for that dish. We're at the preparation of the short ribs. Now, there's one part of the short ribs, which is the brown sauce, that will need to be made before. If you're making this at home, make it a week ahead of time, make it a month ahead of time. Put it in the freezer. Make it on a Sunday. It's not hard to do, but it takes some time. So Judy and I made the brown sauce yesterday that we'll be using today. However, we're going to make a brown sauce right after we get these short ribs in. So read to me, what's the first thing? Go to the timeline.
Now, why do you do that come back?
Step by step.
Just faster.
I don't see the carrots.
Right here.
Okay.
That's what we're doing this for.
Okay. Yellow onion, that's in there too. Celery.
It's all-
Tomato paste.
That's called mirepoix.
Red wine
You
reduction.
should have your tomato paste there.
Red wine
Brown
reduction.
sauce.
Brown sauce.
Beef stock. Bay leaf.
Wait a minute, where's the beef stuff?
Your brown.
You're holding
your
it.
brown.
Okay.
What do you need?
Your brown
Beef
is
stock?
need for the actual making of the short rib
Okay.
sauce. So first of all, we're going to start with seasoning the meat. First one here. This is fleur de sel. This is only to use on finishing. So we'll use it in the vegetables and in the salad, but we don't cook with it because it's a waste.
Yeah.
I send it away.
It's a
I
short
imported
rib,
one.
it's a cow rib.
Yes, it is. It's a beef short rib.
Okay. So a little tiny.
I did used to. No, I meant this size
That I don't
of a
carry anymore,
pan, but
so.
in that heavy
Perfect.
capacity.
I'm with
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pans are so
It's a
high.
sign.
I
Yeah.
don't get a kitchen.
It's a
Yeah.
sign
But
of.
we're
It doesn't
actually-
matter what.
I wish I could make my
So we're listening for the sizzle. You hear the sizzle?
Another one?
Matt, you want it? Can you see?
And what does the sizzle mean?
Stick these in
Three
there.
or four.
It means it's cooking. It's good, it's hot. So stick those in
So
there.
3 is good, or 4, excuse me.
4, I'll do 4 at a time.
And for how long should we leave it?
We're gonna, okay,
What do I use?
it's gonna be about 2 minutes per side.
Set it like that.
Yeah.
Day.
That's about time.
Okay. We got my turn. Yeah. Perfect. You're doing a good job.
I like that. Oh, all 4 sides? Oh.
Regular wine. If you don't want to drink it, don't cook with it. Because your food's gonna taste like that.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So something you like, it's gonna complement. We use the nice Cabernet for that. All 4 sides. When I'm locking all in.
on medium, high, medium? What is it? What do you, the heat medium, high.
I have it on medium high.
So we were,
Yeah, maybe that's it.
so that's the problem for the lawn, but now and now
That's what I said.
that's why I should do that video out in my head.
But if it was like, if I was actually charging, then it's a commercial event. And then I have to have a certificate from the health department. I did it at your house, and it was just your guess I could do it.
Let's like a private.
You see how beautifully brown they got them on all sides.
Beautiful.
That's the process of searing. This is mirepoix. I cut this ahead of time. Rough chop. We're going to learn about precision cuts in a little while, but mirepoix is basically a combination of 1 part of carrot, 1 part celery, and then 2 parts of onion. That's the way it'll always be for standard mirepoix. Now there's a white mirepoix if you're making like a white sauce and you don't want the orange from the carrot. You'd simply use parsnips instead. And you can also use, instead of an onion, you can use part onion and part leek. So as long as you get those flavor profiles. Reduce the heat. I don't want to burn these onions, or I do not want to burn this. I got this on low. We're getting some cherry over here right now. So I'm going to move this around. I just want to sweat out my onions. I want them to be translucent. I don't want them to be brown. I'm not trying to caramelize anything in this. So you basically just want to start with enough so that the flour isn't going to stick to the pan. And then after that, you do not have to add any more because you're going to get enough fat. If you have a leaner cut of meat that doesn't have fat, you may have to add more fat. So just
More
as long
oil.
as you fat or oil.
Okay.
We call oil fat.
Yeah.
Is this
Anyway.
what started the brown sauce? Is that what you're saying?
No.
No.
We're gonna get the ribs in the oven and then we're gonna do a quick demo on the brown sauce and then we're gonna start the soup. Okay? So I'm gonna turn this out because all the heat's dissipated. I'm gonna get this to like a medium high. We're just gonna let this stir till I get my onions until they're a little bit soft and translucent. I'm not really as worried about the carrots and the rest of it. It's strained out of the sauce later, and that's a point I wanted to make. This is rough chop because we're not going to eat this. Now, if it was a mirepoix that we were going to serve with the dish, then what we would do is we would precisely cut our carrots and our celery and our onions into cubes. so that they look pretty on the plate. But this we're gonna strain off at the end, so we don't care about it. There's something called matignon. It's an edible mirepoix, and I think it was in one of the recipe offers that I got you for the chicken, the pole chicken. And basically, this is gonna be dangerous. Basically, it's all it is you start with a smoked pork product, bacon, pancetta, ham, something like that. You start that off in the pan, and then you add your chopped up vegetables to that. It's carrots, celery, onion, same thing. And then you cook it the same way, but it actually cooks with the roasting of the meat, but it's served with the meat as part of the sauce with the pan juices. So, but now we don't care what they look like because I didn't even peel the carrots.
So you're gonna strain
So-
it, and those will be thrown away.
And you know, with carrots, I try, if I'm not gonna use the carrots, I don't peel them because there's a lot of nutrients in peels. So if you're straining it off, I wouldn't worry about the peels.
So for stocks or, soup stocks, you don't peel any of your carrots?
What I do with my soup stock, I start my stock like this, with the vegetables that I'm gonna strain off, and then I add more vegetables at the end, and those are the pretty ones. Like when I'm making chicken soup, I cut pretty carrot and celery up, like little cubes of it, so that it's in the soup, it looks pretty, but I wouldn't serve the soup like that. We're gonna add our tomato paste. This method is called pince. It's P-I-N-C-E with an accent over the E. This is taking a tomato, it's usually a tomato product, but this is gonna help all this caramelize. We've got a lot of oil in here, so it's helping to dissipate the tomato paste. If you didn't have as much oil in here, you'd add a little bit of your red wine reduction just to spread that paste around so that it was evenly distributed.
Do you still have the heat on?
I do.
Okay.
It's on like a medium, more medium than medium low. Okay, what we're gonna do with this, I'm gonna turn it to medium now, and we want this is gonna caramelize. The tomato has the sweetness in it, so it's gonna help to caramelize these vegetables. They're gonna get like this deep rust color. You see how it's changing already? Can you guys see that? But this is a red wine sauce, so we want this, I'm going to turn this up because I want this to reduce down even further. So we want this to have that wine flavor, so I added the reduction. Now, had we added the wine straight instead of reducing it first, this process would take forever. So we just reduced it a little beforehand. Oh my God, it smells terrific. Do one of these.
Oh, it smells really
Leave
good.
it for yourself. Awesome.
It smells really good. I have to smell it.
Okay, I need to
See,
what do you think, Cindy?
You do. It's making
Oh
my
my
mouth water.
God.
This is looking really good. You see how syrupy this looks?
Yep.
It's looking nice and syrupy. All right, turn this down. I'm going to add our brown sauce. And as I said, Judy and I made this yesterday, but we're going to make it today. And we're just going to let it simmer. So you can see how this is made. We're going to do a demo of how this is made. And you'll see, it's really easy to make. I'm going to turn this way down.
You just have to be in the kitchen.
And we'll talk later about the consistency. This is cold right now, so it looks a little thick.
So if you made that ahead, would you freeze that then?
You can freeze it. It's freezable.
And how long would it stay if it's just in the refrigerator?
It takes prep time, I'm going to say about 20 minutes if you make your roux ahead of time. But for as far as the cooking time, it's going to take you 2 hours at least.
No, how long could you keep it in the refrigerator?
Oh, keep it in the refrigerator no longer than a week. I'd freeze it up to a month.
And a cup of the salt, is that right? The cup of the
It
That's
says a
yeah.
cup. Does it say as needed, more if needed? It should say that.
Yeah, it says
doesn't.
add meat, 2/3 up and add more stock and meat.
I don't measure so much, guys. I go by looks, but I would start with a cup. Seeing this is about the consistency of the sauce we want. All right, we got to get them all into these 2 pans. So this I'm not as worried about the crowding. They're gonna cook forever.
Yeah, well.
Ooh.
There's a layer.
Well, one can probably go around the side here.
Yeah, this is a longer one, maybe this
They're
way.
gonna cook down
Here,
too.
we'll do this. Yeah, they'll be like.
You scoop it up or pour it like?
Well, I'm gonna stir it and then I'm gonna pour it on.
Okay.
So I'm coming through and I don't want to hurt anybody. I've been known to.
It's heavy, yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna take this sauce with all the veg and everything else. We're gonna pour this on. And let it fill in around. Sorry.
That's
Oh
all
my
right.
goodness. Judy told me we should have sheets. Didn't you, Jukes? So I'm gonna put the tops on. We got 15 minutes to do the demo. Okay. All right. Okay, yay! The short ribs are in. I need a fork.
Big, long, is this okay, my love?
Yes. Wow, look at that juice, you guys. Ooh.
Beauteous.
See how it's just falling from the bone, the meat?
My God.
It's falling off the bone there.
See,
Fork tender.
she said.
Oil on the bones, but I'm going to put just a little bit in here. I'm going to put my mirepoix.
Brown sauce.
I
In
saw
another
it.
mirepoix.
Right
here.
here. Sorry.
It's hiding on me. Okay, another mirepoix, same thing we used before. You're going to find that this procedure is very repetitive. This is the way you make a stock. It's the same thing whether it's a chicken stock, a beef stock. All that matters is that you start like this and then you add your meat. So your chicken will be a lighter color, but you're still going to put your chicken bones in there. Okay? That's to make a stock. Now we're fortifying a sauce is what we're doing. We already have our stock. Most chefs would like be appalled at this because they make their own. In the interest of time, we're just using the raw. But you know, so what I did was I went to another meat market at the Eastern Market and they had these femur bones. Now they're going to charge you for these. They were like $4.99 a pound. But these are delicious because they have the marrow still in them. So you're getting all that marrow flavor. So I'm going to turn this up a bit
Oh,
because I
really?
had this way down. We're going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
This would be a good time. I will reduce this down to the onions being nice and translucent. Yay.
See, I'm getting it.
You're getting it, girlfriend.
I'm getting it.
It smells so good, doesn't it? So I'm going to throw a little of my red wine in here just to make it so that it's a little bit more liquidy, so I can get that nice deep flavor and color. Okay, so I'm getting that deep caramel flavor, right? Nice and caramelized. Now I'm going to add, now you're going to see how quick this goes. I'm going to add my red wine, and remember I said this isn't a red wine sauce, it's a brown sauce. I'm just using it to deglaze the pan. I don't want it to be part of my flavor profile, at least not as pronounced as I do in my other one. So you see it like evaporates almost immediately. And we want this to be, it's a term, it's au sec. It means dry. Sec I think means dry in French. But anyway, so now we have it sec. And we're going to add our stock. I believe it calls for 1.5 quarts. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So I'm getting to the point where it's not going to fit in here anymore. This is when you transfer it to your saucepan. All right, so I'm going to get the rest of my stock in here. And then we're going to introduce the roux. Now, the thing with roux is, you know, you can't add cold roux to a hot liquid, or you'll end up with, we're going to make this in a minute. I made it yesterday. I have cold roux here, and this is pretty cold because I just stuck it in here.
Everything.
Yeah.
What was it? Oh, it was fun. Oh, it was fun.
It's a beautiful color. This is like a light brown roux, and it's a brown sauce. That's why we're using this. And we go right in the middle with our whisk, and we just whisk this in a little at a time here. Do you guys want to come and see? Come on in and see. See that? Nice. I'm not getting lumps, but I do. A pound of roux will thicken a gallon of liquid. I have here, I've got 1/4 of a pound, and I'm starting with a 1.5 quarts, but I want to end with a quart. Okay?
So this will go down to a quart.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to bring this to a simmer. We can start working on other things. We're going to skim the scum. It's going to be your job. Okay. We're going to skim the scum, which we're just going to take a spoon once we start getting scum. Once we start getting scum, Cindy will call us all over. And then we'll take a look at what it is. And then we'll bring it to a simmer. We get this scum skimmed. This is a bouquet garni. It has celery or a piece of leek. There's parsley stems, not the leaves, just the stems, all the flavors in there. It's got a bay leaf, and this is a thyme sprig. I just tied it on.
Yeah.
This goes into seasoning. This is a sachet. And a sachet is nothing more than cheesecloth, a bay leaf. I broke up a couple of stems of parsley, and then we have our thyme and a couple of peppercorns. We're just gonna pull this out. It doesn't have to look pretty. It's gonna be thrown away. So this, after we skim the scum, we're gonna just let this hang out in here, and we'll just tie this to the handle so we remember to pull it out.
Okay, so no stirring because we're waiting for the scum.
Right.
And will I know what the scum is when it's...
You're seeing it already.
Okay.
See this?
Yes, so I'll call
It's
you
the
over
scum.
when there's more.
They trim this
You'll
up.
be checking. Okay.
So we're just going to do this.
Okay.
Very easy. Try not to get any of the broth.
Okay.
If you get a little broth,
Yeah.
Nope, nobody's gonna notice.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna
Should we
know.
turn it down or no?
Well, we want it to a simmer. This
Okay.
is.
So there's more stuff to take off still?
Turn it down just a little, but I just turned it down so we have to let it, we're gonna wait.
Okay.
It's still boiling now, but in a minute it
So
won't.
getting that
So
up.
that it is centered on the flame. Now the flame, just because it's centered on the burner, doesn't mean it's centered on the flame, because the flame shoots different ways. So, I mean, it should, but it doesn't. So anyway, you continue to skim your scum, young lady. All right, there you go.
Okay.
Pour that in there.
Okay.
I'm on veggie style. So
Oh,
you're not
good.
gonna
The whole
Glaze-
thing?
We gotta
Rachelle?
deglaze
Very
both of these
impressed.
pans.
Okay,
Just
so
about
half and
half
your
of that,
hands.
yeah. And then you need to grab a spatula.
I mean,
Okay.
You need to deglaze
this is
it.
why I don't cook.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
this is talking about this before.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands a good way. The next thing is you have to gather your mise en place.
Oh, yeah,
She does. Preheat oven to 350.
It's already in.
I'm gonna do the lower one. I'll do that right now. You go gather your things. It'll say creme brulee. You don't have the recipe on it.
You're gonna
Right
love
up my
it.
alley.
It'll give you.
Okay, so I
And
don't
then you can just
layer in here.
and
Like,
just want to go for it.
I love it.
No sense.
Okay. Split the vanilla bean and the lengthwise.
Okay, ladies, the first thing we have to do is we're gonna split our vanilla beans. And the way you do that is you just come down and you do it right in half.
Where do you buy that?
Actually, Kroger's has this, but you can buy it in specialty stores. Kroger, you can buy it in the spice aisle. You can get 2 for $10. 2 vanilla beans.
Wow.
Now this one here is a special one because I was in class and I was in the storeroom and we had the knowledge bowl and it's like playing Jeopardy and we played against teams of other members of my class.
You won.
And every time your team won, you got a vanilla bean.
Smell the vanilla.
So
Yeah.
this is one of my vanilla beans. So you split it and then you want to open it up. You guys should come and see. Open it right like this and you scrape the seeds out. You just pull it like that, like a zipper. The seeds go in, that goes in. You don't want to waste any.
No, not that
So
price.
do it on the
No.
same. That's 2. Want to try it, Veronica?
No, I'll do it.
Okay, you want to do it?
I'll try it.
Oh, Cindy, what a.
This one will be. Cindy, watch
Well,
your
you guys are
scum.
here to learn. If you don't try it, then
Yeah, look
there
at
you go.
that.
Perfect.
Nice.
Okay, we need a grease. I want to get all that goodness out of there. A really good friend of mine got me this, and I really like it because it moves around nicely. Gabby McIntosh.
Aww, that was sweet.
She happens to be
I
here
saw
right
them
now.
What's that store up in Harvard in Petoskey? Culver's or what's that one on the corner?
Scalding is just before it boils. Oh no, no.
Oh, sugar. You said sugar, right?
I put the sugar in. That was a super fine.
It's an amazing tea.
Give that a stir, and then you're gonna just sit that over the meat burner, and then in the meantime, we're gonna get a bowl. and we're gonna-
So like the
Okay.
bubbles around the edges will be all through it. It's kind of getting bubbles already.
No, this is just from us.
Okay.
Whisking it.
Stir away.
I put it back, it's in that, I felt it.
Yeah, and people like it for iced tea. Oh, the dogs and place them on top of each other.
Now, Rachelle, where did you get these little bowls?
Home goods.
No, really?
Where? Home goods.
Are they called ram?
These are egg yolks, and what happens when you add heat to egg yolks?
They
Cook. You get scrambled eggs. We don't want scrambled eggs, we want custard. So the way we temper it is we add a little bit of our hot milk to our eggs, stir it in so we try to get the temperature up of the eggs. And then we'll stir all of this back into the cream. Okay. All right, we're starting to get some bubbles to this. This is good enough.
So we're done skimming the scum.
Yeah, we're just letting that be happy. So now we have this so that it's not going to turn into a mess, but always whisk and pour slowly.
I'm glad you did that. I never knew how much to put in.
Yeah.
You know, when you,
Sometimes the recipe will say a couple tablespoons or something. Is your arm getting tired?
Whisk the temper mixture back to the hot cream. Skim any foam from the surface of the cream and reserve.
You reserve the foam?
So we tempered it, so now we're just skimming out the foam, because we don't want this foam on the top of our brulees. We want them to be nice and lovely and smooth. So I'm gonna get as much of this foam off as I possibly can. So, I mean, you know,
It's gonna end up getting some anyway.
we're gonna cover it.
Oh,
You won't see
brulee.
it. So we're gonna very carefully, who wants to do this, right?
I'll do it.
I need about 5. So fill these all up. Very carefully.
oh, she's got a garbage.
Like right to the rim?
Right to the rim. We need a steady hand to put them in the oven. And if there is a mess, I give you this, you can just clean up your edges.
I'm gonna try to do a mess for you.
Okay. All right, we got 401.
So you do water bath, Michelle, is that the?
Yeah, there'll be a water bath, but this is the trick. They go in the oven first, because if you put the water in, it's slapping all over the place, it's gonna get into your, so the pans go in the oven, and then the water gets poured in.
That's smart.
Oh, smart idea. Yeah,
Is it too big, the pan for my oven?
try this one.
There you go. You got that.
Yeah.
It's
so funny, I don't know, like this morning we were talking about.
Is this a little
Careful,
one?
careful, careful.
Christmas
Yeah, that'll
cards,
fit.
Small Christmas.
You want it-
trees,
yeah.
Okay, now we need the water.
Yeah.
How much of it?
For 2 reasons.
Just pour it in.
Everyone's so
We're gonna
proud.
pour it in into. I gotta get another. Because if we leave them in here, they're gonna get cooking, they're gonna continue to cook. And then they're gonna get rubbery.
So this is okay?
And they won't be smooth and creamy.
You know, it's a little
Preparation.
set us there, but that's okay?
Well, yeah, it's set.
Oh, it is.
Right, right.
one of them had a little, so I think sometimes the water is different too.
Yeah, this one here, got water all over it. That's gonna be Veronica's. So then when they're hot, we're gonna clean them real quick.
Yeah. You want to touch one of those?
Yeah, right, yes, remember I don't want it.
See how it springs
Right, it might
back?
have been too much.
And then I'll jiggle it. Okay? Okay, who's got, what's the next thing, vegetables? So, you want to read out?
We have Roma tomatoes.
Oven. I already roasted the tomatoes, ladies. This is so easy to do, but in the interest of time. No, this is fine. Okay. In the interest of time,
Yes, how did
we oven roasted the tomatoes. Judy and I did this yesterday. We took our Roma tomatoes, we cut them in half. They were big, so we cut them in quarters. We used a knife, and we just simply ran a paring knife under the seed. We got rid of the seed. Okay, so we've got a seedless quarter or half.
It looks like a skin, right?
Yeah, it's got the skin. It looks like a petal.
Okay.
It'll be a tomato petal at that point. Then we took a baking sheet. We drizzled that with olive oil, and then we drizzled more olive oil over our tomatoes, kind of rubbed it in. Don't be stingy with the olive oil on the bottom of the pan, because there's a lot of sugar in tomatoes. They caramelize, they stick.
Oh,
So-
they do stick.
And I actually put either parchment paper or I'll put foil on the bottom.
Oh, wow.
Just so that it doesn't mess my pan up and I don't
So
have to
this is
spray.
what they come out with?
Yeah, you just put them in a 400 oven, yeah, they're both. Put them in a 400 oven until they're just nice and brown. They'll look like this.
Okay.
And they're fragrant, you'll smell them. Then our butternut squash, this is the trick, because it sweetens it up and it gives it a really nice creamy texture without having to add cream or milk to it. So what we do is, I don't add cream, milk, or butter to this. So what you do is you basically take your butternut squash, cut it in half lengthwise, scoop out with a spoon the seeds, then put it on your cookie sheet. Again, olive oil on a cookie sheet, or your parchment paper. You can spray it, but I put something on my pan, and then I put the olive oil. Then I put it down, stick it in the oven again, 400 degrees. Probably takes about a half hour to 45 minutes, and then you bring it out, let it cool, and you scoop it right out of the skin.
Can I
Okay.
ask one question about the
Sure.
tomatoes? This is 10 pounds, so when you buy them, do you
This
measure?
was 10 pounds.
You measure 10 pounds?
That was 10 pounds.
of
You
raw?
don't weigh it. Can't you
Right.
just weigh them in the supermarket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what you say, is 10
Yeah.
pounds of raw?
For this many.
Okay.
I'm saying a pound per serving. Okay?
So
All right, okay, so what else do we need? Vegetable stock.
This is
the
cheese
croutons?
Yeah, that's.
So we just need the cream.
We don't need cream yet.
Salt and white pepper.
We have that right over here. Okay, so we have everything we need to start. I'm gonna throw the croutons over here. We're gonna take all of our veggies, and we're gonna put them in here. We're gonna puree them with a little bit of, but we can do a little at a time. So put a little in to start.
A little being like one.
We'll put all of that in. That's good.
There's one in there. Stinker.
Oh, that was on already. Crazy. This in there. Throw your tomatoes in.
How do you know how much to put in?
Well, I say about, I think the recipe calls for, 2 quarts?
Okay, so,
I just eyeball this part.
right, it does.
I try to know all the recipes, but I don't have them all by heart. I have to.
You're doing pretty well.
Good idea. I'm gonna need to go home and take a nap.
After eating.
There's your can opener.
Oh, we have a
What-
long night of eating.
What's broken in that drawer?
Tonight.
I got you, boo.
House.
Thank you.
You bet Reggie's
It's
gonna
always
be ready
your
with
Team
perfect
on
snack.
Mercy Street, really good.
Hey, Joe.
Okay. I know, right? As soon as possible, but after it cooks down, it's gonna break down even further, the vegetables, and then we're gonna use a stick blender at the very end. So, get a stick blender.
Do you use it a lot? Stick
I do. It's really good for whipping cream too. Okay. Now we're gonna load this into I said, this is pretty thick,
It's pretty good.
but it's gonna break down and we're gonna puree it more. All right, so I need both of those containers of that vegetable stock in here and the tomatoes. How'd it go? It's cento. You don't hear the commercials?
on there.
This is where my grandfather, it's outside of Bologna, and my grandfather was born in Cento. And my mom and I went to Cento. Now, I don't know what this has to do with that, but it just reminded me of that. Anybody have a stack? All right, is the rest in there? Can you come and look? This is a texture of thing that I need you guys to see. If everyone can see, it's going to start out probably a lot thicker than it's going to, it'll thin out. But as we cook it, this will all cook down and we can add more stock as we need to. This looks really thick right now. We're going to puree this. It's going to be super smooth. And then it's also going to thin down because those tomatoes are going to break down even more. Don't be shy. It's tomatoes. Tomatoes love salt. They do.
I love salt, especially tomatoes.
Tomatoes and potatoes. Potatoes love salt too.
Oh, we got chicken.
White pepper.
This is very fun. I'm gonna let Jo do it so she gets a feel for it. She's the other soup chef. Jo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They may not have gotten together right at 5, you know, they might have said.
They said that she might have said this. I have no tail left.
Okay, ladies, we're all going to garnish our own soup. Okay. Start. See if it works. Oops, I used this part of the spoon. My dogs are going nuts. Well, it's not that pretty. It's because the soup is really thick. How about this? This would be prettier, I think. We'll just do a couple dots.
How about a happy face? Smiley face.
You can do whatever you want. It's your garnish. Do your soup. The thickness of the soup isn't allowing us to do it. If we pureed it more, it would be okay. But anyway.
Would never have known.
I know. So anyway, garnish your soup and then grab it and come take a seat. You're going to wet your paper towel. You're going to wet your paper towel. I'm going to do these because Sherry knows how to do this. And then you're going to stick it under your board. I should have did that before I passed out the veg. Stick it under your board. What this is going to do is it's going to keep your board from slipping while you're cutting. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is everybody's going to take a piece of saran wrap and you're going to cover your board with it. Yeah. Let's help each other. Everything goes on your paper.
On your paper.
Your junk.
Okay. All right.
Does everybody have a okay.
Jo, you are so wasted.
I wasted some. Except for that little bit of butternut squash. Yeah,
I did get that.
Yeah.
Okay, next is peel. I don't think I have to tell you guys how to do that. Judy, I'm going to check the creme brulee. Will you peel your veg?
Oh, sure. The fun stuff.
Where's your finger? You got your finger? Your finger apparatus?
I do. Look at how cool this is.
Oh, I gotta get one.
I'm sorry, honey.
Never saw that before.
You're wasting
It
I
was
couldn't
too
get it out.
hard.
It's my favorite. I might never do
I like
that.
this green one, this is
No,
really
that
nice.
is cool.
That's my, that
ergonomically
green
very-
one's my daughter's favorite.
We'll have to make sure she doesn't slip it in her hand.
Yeah, a lot of things might be taken.
No, I have one as well. Yeah. I do
So
have.
we're
well,
going
you
to
know
bigger
her.
purse. The thing is we want a vegetable that is a batonnet. We're making a batonnet. And we want it to be, it's bite size. It'll fit in a fork and on your mouth. 2 inches to 2.5. I like to go about 2. And it's an eyeball thing. But I'm going to make you guys a couple of templates. Okay? So the first thing you do is you cut your veg into your size, your bite size. These are hard. That's why you were having a hard time.
Yeah.
These are, which is good. It means they're fresh. I mean, these get really soft. So we're going to get excited about that. So we're going to go. Good catch.
Very good.
Okay. Sign up for it.
Oh, what is it?
It's parsnip. Okay.
Parsnip.
So the next thing you do is you just want a little tiny, tiny slice. Oh, first of all, everybody knows the claw. When you cut, this is what you want. You do not want, if the knife hits you, it's going to hit your nail. And you're not going to get hurt. But if you're like this, you're going to cut off the top of your finger. So use your claw. And when you do, you just get this little cut, and what that does is that gives you a good surface. Okay? And the moral of this, or the object to this, is that we want to get a square piece of vegetable to work with. Now, we were talking about waste earlier. We don't waste this. We use that for stock, or we use it for mirepoix. But I didn't have this yesterday because I wanted to do the demo. I cryovac and freeze that. So I'm not going to waste it. I just want you to know. Next thing is a batonnet is about 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch. And just got this up there.
Yeah.
You guys see that?
Yeah, I did.
You're like, oh, look who's preaching to the choir. Okay. So now I've got these planks. I'm going to walk around in these with you guys. So then, you get your planks. You want to make sure your edges are square. So now you do this. And then you want this to be another 1/4 inch. So you're going to go down on this. And you guys do one plank at a time. That'll be easier for you. I'm doing 2 right now. But you end up with these nice little batonets that are going to garnish up for just a little bit of knowledge of skill. And I'm looking for no injuries today.
Good idea. That would be good.
Judy, you want to do this? I'm letting you take over. Where'd she go? Come on.
It's really fun.
Always keep the knife tip down, ladies. Knife tip down. Knife tip down.
Knife tip down.
See, this is like hot. Knife tip down.
Jeez, pressure was on.
The dreaded skinny girl.
But the food was always really good.
Like a lot of
Except
seafood?
that,
Peppies. I'm not a big Mexican food. I mean,
Yeah, they look
I
fine.
could do without Mexican.
but we were in Mexico.
Yeah, well, there was one problem with our location.
What was that?
Food, you know, it was all Mexican food.
Oh, so
When you're in
No, the other
Mexico.
places- Yeah,
Eat like a Mexican, I guess.
but the other places weren't.
now what do we do?
Yeah,
Where were you
like-
at?
like
Mexican
the-
slices and stuff.
The
I don't know, I'm
lobster
still
tail.
trying to get this to be a
Yeah,
square.
Yeah, a lot of seafood. Oh my God, I thought my cholesterol.
Yeah, you get it to be a square.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
don't tell Veronica.
Oh my God, Veronica, look at her.
Oh my gosh, look at Veronica's.
Do your little tip.
Look at Veronica's.
Yeah, that was
It looks beautiful, Veronica, beautiful.
I ate the tip. You can do all of it.
Oh, that's why.
Just eat it. Makes it easier.
I'm gonna line them up like she did.
We're having a
I
dinner
got a
party. You're in
shirt on
charge
that
of all the
Right,
vegetables.
the tip has to be
down.
Veronica's are better than mine.
Thank you.
She only makes one.
I just know how to cut, that's all. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Just
Just let it go.
Good.
Am I too long?
Okay, carrots go in one, parsnips go in another, and then we have to start on our beans,
Or what?
and we're gonna do the leaves.
Bitty, bitty, bitty.
Where is my scum?
On both sides?
This is called a celery root, ladies. It's the root of celery. It tastes like celery, only a little bit more intense. It's a root vegetable. You can buy it wherever they sell vegetables. It's called celery root. It's the root of celery. It's also called celeriac. It's a little bit more intense tasting than celery. Kind of has a licoricey flavor.
It smells like celery? So I told her. Set it up, babe. Figure out a way to. It's like, make it happen.
Oh, no, because I took it off.
I can't pull the string. It starts.
Maybe some of them don't have a string.
Almost completely cooked. So we can't cook all the vegetables at once because they're different textures and consistencies, and they cook at different rates. So we're going to throw one kind at a time in. We're just going to throw it in the water for a while. They're going to taste them for tenderness, and the minute they think that they're perfect, not mushy, perfect, they go straight in this water bath. It's got ice in it. It's ice.
Oh, yes.
So they're going to put it in the ice bath. They're going to shock them. That's called shocking them. They're not going to let them sit in there because they don't want them to get waterlogged. They're going to take them out the minute they cool down and put them back in their containers. Okay? And they're going to do that with all of these. One doesn't want to separate.
Salt water in it.
You need a butter knife, honey. You should have complained.
She acts like you brought your own.
I know.
So, in half lengthwise, in half again, we have 8 pieces. 8 pieces. Where are we on the time? I think we're pretty good. Okay. All right. Was it 5? Yeah, we're middle off.
No, I try to get all these ice cubes out here. It's really
I'll end up here.
Yeah, it's hard, I know.
I don't.
In one hand. You guide with this hand. You place pressure with this hand. And you're just going in a circle like that.
Oh, you want to see that?
Want to try that? I'll fill these up.
You didn't lean up your short rib against the potato.
Good job, Kathy.
Kind of gets
Whoa,
close there.
look at that. Are you gonna get it for Priscilla?
I think so, I'm not sure.
Oh, you know, it's for the most.
I'm debating it.
That is cool. That's cool.
Beets are a really good vegetable that people don't use enough. They taste like an onion, but they're much milder, and they've got kind of a sweeter flavor to them. They make really good potato leaf soup. You've ever had that? We cut this what they call machete style. Because you see there's a lot of this light green in here. We just lob it off for getting rid of a lot of it. So what we do is we cut it this way. And then we have part, say, just isn't as tender. But we're not going to.
So
We're
are they
not
real
going to.
dirty in there, Rachelle?
It's really dirty. So we cut down the middle. These are normally very dirty. See the dirt? And we got to get in between the leaves, guys. And you notice I'm using a cloth because I don't want to cut myself. Just a reiteration. Okay, so the way we clean these is we come over to the side down and we're going to feather these leaves all out. And we're going to clean in between like this. Correct. We're going to julienne these and we want them about the same as our bâtonnets. So, and we only want white and light green parts. So we're just going to get a really, really thin slice on these. If anybody wants to do it, there's a spot next to me. No volunteers?
Don't jump on all at once.
How would we?
That she did before this. And then that. Oh, you look too
They look like little.
What are you doing? You're putting them in buttermilk, and this is for
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. It'll go off, but
You know, like my stretch pants and my stuff that I belong
give it
to.
5 minutes. You got them all lined up?
And then probably
Rachelle,
maybe not.
If this water comes to a boil, we're gonna start blanching the veg, and that's gonna be a project. Who's my veggies? You and
Kat, you and me, huh?
yeah. So, but I gotta wait for this water to boil, and then then we'll talk. But in the meantime, we're gonna crisp these leeks up, and the way it's done is they're soaking right now in buttermilk. We're gonna mix together cornmeal and a little bit of pepper. And some cayenne.
Oh, Diane.
Just a dash. Just a hint. Oh, a suspicion, that's what. Okay, there's this guy's name is Escoffier. The best thing to do is to take them with your hand, pour them in here, shake it, get as much of that buttermilk off as possible.
It's messy.
Yeah. Okay? Get that off. Yeah, do it over the sink. Yeah, do it over the sink. Okay. And then the next thing is then you're going to divide your few at a time in the flour, not all at a time. And then you're going to take them out of here and you're going to shake this. So you're going to have a lightly coated, you're going to fry them and then you're going to fry them. Well, what we did is we soaked the leeks in the buttermilk. Then we squeeze as much of the buttermilk out as possible. And then we have a combination here of cornmeal, and we have some seasoned flour. And we're just dredging them into the flour. And then we're shaking out the excess flour. And then these will go straight in the fryer. You want to make sure of with these is that you have to get as much of the liquid off as possible. And you only want to do a few at a time. And otherwise you're going to end up with a really moist mass of onions or leeks. You won't end up with nice individual, see we're getting these nice individual leeks that will go into the fryer. They'll fry it real crisp. They'll be really pretty as a garnish. Pour that out.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, it's right now. It's near Tiger Stadium, isn't it? Like not too far from the.
I know, the problem is, Jeff said, you know, I heard that she was gonna be me and John to come there, and I never heard the end of it, and Jeff.
Whatever else.
Here.
Okay, so this is,
Just do a light sprinkling, ladies. Otherwise, it'll take forever for these to cook. They'll burn around the edges. It'll be, you'll hate yourself in the morning. That is how it should look.
Yeah.
Push it to the edges. Very light, just like that.
You're gonna make that for your family, you're gonna go.
Wait.
Sometimes,
You know what you can use?
have I not done a butterfly FRICO?
No.
Yeah, I heard about it. I heard it was.
She puts her Fricos on sticks.
What does that mean?
Another trick.
Lots of tricks.
There's not enough golden plates. Judy, we don't want these.
She took that
Oh,
this much.
we don't want this. This is bitter.
Okay.
Extra light
Yeah. That's
olive oil. No, leave that please. And some. Hang on.
What is that? The salt?
Sea salt. For
Oh,
salt.
I know.
Okay, now you want all this garlic and oil distributed evenly.
I made this mistake before. About the garlic. It's hard to do that, right? It's very hard to do. Shouldn't I have rubbed the bowl?
No, just get your hands in there. Just rub those leaves like this. Okay? Rub them.
Okay.
No rubbing bowl. This isn't Caesar.
She said Tom was squeezing this, so it took.
Okay. And this I'm taking out.
My God, I've never seen potatoes like this.
Alright, see how it's getting bubbly? That's what we want.
I just cook them through like that?
Yeah, we want this, really, we want this liquid to be very hot before we put it in, because these are already cooked, and we don't want them to start breaking up and getting soggy. And we want to evaporate this liquid.
I can keep stirring them.
Well, what's going to happen is liquid's going to come out of here, and more liquid's going to come out, and then we're going to overcook them. So I don't want that to happen.
That thing that's holding your knives,
Yeah?
did you put that up there, or was that?
No, I put that up there. It's there with strips. See them? The bottom? Let me take a picture of that. Okay, now where's your button? When these are good and hot and cooked through, we're going to add some of this butter. This is the glazing process.
Oh, that's glazing?
Yes. And don't forget to season. This is our Rachelle. I'm going to throw a little, and you might ask, nobody asked this question, I'm waiting. Nobody asked why I don't use cracked pepper.
I don't use cracked pepper.
I never even thought of that.
You have cracked pepper at the table. You never want it to look like there's little ants in your food. It just is like, it's not an appealing look. So that's why we don't. Alright. So, these are done. They're glazed, they're seasoned. They're lovely. You gotta get them off of here because they're bleeding liquid.
It started to get hot.
Smoky.
Yeah.
They're smoky.
Yeah.
But that won't stop. Well, it will. Here's the sauce, ladies. You just want to put the sauce over the meat. Just over the meat. It'll fall over where it needs to go. You can put a little bit more. I actually should thin this out a little. It's looking a little thick now. Sauce is a little thick. It should coat the plate this way. I'm going to fix that for you guys in a moment. Then we'll take our batonnet vegetable.
Well done.
Oh, I had these here. I knew I had something.
She's
Put
so
it down
good.
on your side.
Remember?
Do remember.
This one's different. Okay, so then our vegetable will go along here, just like this. Get some different colors onto your plate so it looks real pretty. And then, as our garnish, some crispy leeks.
Lovely.
And there's your plate. This is sugar.
Sugar. Okay,
Super
sugar.
fun. Sugar, guys.
Judy, will you get the berries out?
Get what?
The berries
Enjoyed it.
for the
Yeah,
garnish?
I know, but man.
I'm just sprinkling this on very lightly. You don't want a lot because what's going to happen if you have too much on, it's going to melt the custard before
You know how to do this.
the sugar.
You probably have this
Not that
one.
I'm I've got
I had to do it, I had to experiment early.
Yeah, he did it with me.
Yeah.
All right, so I've done a few of these. Have you seen how I did it? Refined sugar is going to burn, or it's going to brulee or
So is that one done?
caramelize. No,
No.
that needs some more love. This is going to caramelize faster. And that's the reason why we use the super fine. We don't want the custard to melt.
Super fine at Kroger's or?
That's where I got it.
Yeah.
But if you can't, you can make your own.
After you do sugar, you do broiler?
Or you do a torch. Okay, I'm coming out, you guys, and it's heavy. That one looks good, except for that.
See, that looks appealing to me.
Because you're a bird girl, Sal. No, I know. I said I want to do this one.
It's a big, so wait, are you very cute? I don't have a deep fryer, but I guess you could do them. Oh, that's
You
great.
can do them in a pan.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
There we are. Okay, so